Do you suffer with panic attacks? Do you find that sometimes, suddenly out of nowhere, your heart is racing, your thoughts are racing, and you feel like you're filled with this intense terror? Well, I've got something to tell you. I want to share with you something that helped me so that maybe it can help you. For many years, I suffered with crippling panic attacks. Now, sometimes the cause was pretty obvious. Sometimes I wake up the next day after partying way too hard, the hangover was kicking in, and I'd start to panic about all the silly things I might have said last night. This idea that I might have said something that made me look like an idiot would fill me with dread. But a lot of the time, the cause was a lot less obvious. They would seemingly come out of nowhere on a seemingly normal day. Suddenly, I would feel utterly consumed by spiraling whirlwind of chaotic and dread-filled thoughts. A lot of the time, I couldn't even pinpoint exactly what I was so terrified about. Nothing seemed to make sense, and all I could deduce was, maybe this is it. Maybe this time I'm going to go crazy. I would check my heart and confirm, yes, it's absolutely racing. I could feel the massive rush of adrenaline pumping through my veins, and the whole thing would be characterized by this impending sense of doom. As anyone who's had serious panic attacks knows, it's the worst feeling ever. Even if nothing terrible is going on the outside, the internal whirlwind of dread feels unbearable. It was only after years of successive panic attacks that I decided I'd had enough. I started to realize resisting it never worked. If anything, it just made it worse. The more I was terrified of it, the more it would terrify me. So I thought, this time I'm not going to resist it when it comes on. This time I'm going to attempt to stare this thing down. And that's what I did. Life went on, and I tried to track my mental state throughout the day to see if underneath the surface I was winding myself up and I could prevent this thing from coming on. But lo and behold, once again, it seemed to spring out of nowhere. And now this was my time to stare this thing down. And it was even more terrifying at first. What I likened it to, what it felt like, was like staring into the eyes of a demon in my mind. But I thought, if I let it in, if I can stare this thing down, then maybe I can prove to myself it won't kill me. And it worked. I let it in. I let all the feelings just wash over me. I realized the demon was an illusion. It was a bundle of perceptions and sensations, and it was me who made it real with my resistance. And although it felt even more terrifying at first to let it in and to look at it, looking at it and seeing it for what it was made it gradually dissolve and evaporate into thin air. And if I ever had another panic attack again, I would do it again. I would say in my head, "Come get me." And I would demand more. I would say, "Show me what you've got, bring me more." As uncomfortable as it was, I would just drop all the resistance and let the whole thing wash over me. And so now, regular crippling panic attacks are a thing of the past because instead of resisting, I started bringing acceptance to the situation. There were, of course, other things that helped. Over the years, my day-to-day stress has come down, my eating and drinking habits have improved, and I exercise a lot more and get a lot better sleep. And I'm not ignoring the importance of these foundational healthy habits when it comes to ending panic attacks. I recognize that they're crucially important and that many things can contribute to anxiety and fearful thoughts, all the way from past influences, exercise and nutrition to gut health and life circumstances. And it's beneficial to level up in all these areas to create the best ecosystem for maximum well-being. But what I'm talking about is what helped me in the moment. Realizations about myself that trickle positivity into all other areas of my life. At some point in the future, I started to realize that what I essentially am at the deepest level is awareness, and that awareness cannot ultimately be harmed by anything that appears within it, no matter how chaotic and intense these things might be. Just like the screen of a TV is never harmed, modified, or limited by the chaos in a movie, us as awareness ultimately cannot be harmed by the chaos in the mind. If we believe we're the mind, if we self-identify with it and take all our thoughts seriously, then maybe we will act out some dangerous behaviors. But when we know ourselves as awareness, we are free. Free to create more of what we want in our lives and leave a positive impact on this world. And that's what we're all about on this channel. So if you liked this video, please give it a like, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new videos helping you with conscious personal growth. Peace.